New next Friday, Martin Shaw is back as the chief, and he's under fire.
Our police, don't move!
Even from his own side.
What does he think he's playing at?
Even from his own men.
If you're my deputy,
And even from the police.
you do what I say.
Next Friday,
You know the rules. You seem incapable of playing the game.
I don't care.
Martin Shaw is the chief. New next Friday.
Stay with us tonight here on LWT for the news at 10 from ITN, presented by Trevor McDonald after the break.
It's entertainment exclusive to the LWT area. It's a London weekend with Little John. Entertainment with drama
Don't be provocative towards me.
I'm not trying.
You were.
is back.
Well, I'm quite appalled.
Live and uncut.
If you had a brain cell, it would die of loneliness.
Obviously, the impact you have on people, you drive them mad, that's why.
Back for a new series tonight, 10:30. Richard Littlejohn, live and uncut.
You're watching LWT. Now, news at 10 from ITN.
From ITN, News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
Top Tory doctor sentenced for taking heroin. Mortgage warning, the lenders who put cash before customers. British holiday jet crash, passengers described their escape. And how American police went about making an arrest in Cincinnati. Good evening. A top doctor, regarded as having played a key role in conservative health service reforms, was given a suspended jail sentence today for drugs offences related to his heroin addiction. Dr. Clive Froggatt admitted 8 charges of obtaining the drug by deception. He was sentenced to 12 months in prison, suspended for 2 years. The court heard that he'd become depressed by criticism of his role in reorganising the NHS. From Bristol Crown Court, James Bayes reports. Coming next on News at 10 tonight, the strong arm of the law in America, why police tactics are reviving unwelcome memories. A mother's outrage at the sentence for the drunk driver who left her cyclist son to die.
I have to say that I think if some of our judges had their children killed by drink drivers, things would be very different.
And more thoughts of Eric the philosopher on putting it all behind him.
And I can forget everything.
Welcome back. Television pictures of white police officers beating a black man are again causing controversy in America. The incident in Cincinnati was caught on camera by a passing news team. It's revived memories of the beating of Rodney King, the incident which led to the Los Angeles riots 3 years ago. An investigation's been launched in Cincinnati, but police say the pictures distorted the true story. ITN's Terry Lloyd reports from Washington. The Irish government has for the first time officially recognised the Irish soldiers who sacrificed their lives fighting for Britain in the Second World War. Today, the Irish Prime Minister, John Bruton, joined a ceremony at Dublin's National War Memorial. Ireland remained neutral during the war, but thousands volunteered to fight in British uniforms. 2 drug dealers who earned millions from crack cocaine were jailed for a total of 36 years today. They were arrested after police made the world's biggest seizure of the drug in London last June. And campaigners went to Westminster today to demonstrate against the slow progress through Parliament of a private member's bill to help the disabled. The bill, sponsored by Labour's Larry Barnes, aims to guarantee a range of civil rights for disabled people. Once again, our schools are facing the prospect of industrial action. The 3 main teaching unions in England and Wales have all voted in favour of taking some kind of action to protest about the size of classes. Their main concern is that the government's decision not to fully fund their recent pay award will mean job losses and even more classroom overcrowding. According to government figures published today, the average class size in England did go up in the last year. For tonight's special report, David Rose went to one Warwickshire school to gauge teachers' reactions. In headlines again, Dr. Clive Froggatt, regarded as having played a key role in the government health service reforms, has been given a suspended jail sentence for drugs offences. And banks, building societies and financial advisors have been told they could face tough new rules about selling endowment mortgages. The Office of Fair Trading has criticised the high commission some lenders make. And finally, the latest chapter in the trials and tribulations of Eric Cantona was closed today. The painter, philosopher and star soccer player confirmed that he's staying with Manchester United for another 3 years. Graham Miller reports on a day that made at least one half of Manchester very happy. That's it tonight. See you Monday. Have a good weekend.
Hello, good evening. Well, as we go into the weekend, I'm afraid the bad news is the fact we are expecting rain in many places tomorrow. There is good news, though, and that comes in the form of a much brighter and warmer day on Sunday. It's not all gloom and doom. Now, turning to our Met Office wind flow chart here, that helps put things in context. And what we have at the moment is all this rain developing way out to the west. Now, during the course of the day tomorrow, what happens is that pushes across the country, fairly patchy in nature and getting into many places later on. Now, by Sunday, that should have moved well off the scene, being replaced by much brighter skies and warmer temperatures. Warmer because we've got this air being dragged up from way down south, from the Azores, in fact, and temperatures climb to a much more respectable 17 or 63 Fahrenheit. So let's move straight on to tomorrow's weather. For the eastern side of the country, a fairly bright, dry start to the day, some sunshine breaking through. Not so out to the west, a lot of cloud and these drizzly outbreaks. Now, during the course of the day, well, they make a fairly erratic progress eastwards all the while, fairly hit and miss in southern parts, but more definite rain further north. Now, with all the weather activity, temperatures aren't looking too bad tomorrow, despite all the cloud. A high of 14 or 57 in Fahrenheit. Now, it's still chilly on the eastern side of the country and basically chillier the further north you go and breezier with it. Very quick look ahead at Sunday. There we see the remnants of that rain in some central as well as eastern areas. They clear off the scene, maybe just hanging on in the very far northeast, and it settles into a pleasantly fine and rather warm day with a high of 17 or 63 with a hint of more rain in the west. Good night.
Sponsored by PowerGen, generating electricity for homes and industry, whatever the weather.
Today is Victory in Europe Day.
Next week, celebrate and commemorate VE Day with GMTV as we host our very own street party with a special contribution from Forces sweetheart Dame Vera Lynn. Join Eamon Holmes, Mr. Motivator and Lorraine Kelly for a week-long celebration next week.
Hello again. Well, it being the weekend, we can expect some rain tomorrow, but Sunday does look a lot better. Let's see that rain on the satellite sequence. It's way out there to the west, about 400, perhaps 500 miles away. It is heading our way, unfortunately, at around 40 or 50 miles an hour. But it won't reach us tonight. We can expect dry weather on the whole, broken cloud, and that will allow temperatures to fall to around 3 or 4 Celsius at the very lowest, and light winds. So tomorrow morning starts on a grey, misty note. Some brightness out to the east in Essex and Kent first thing, but the cloud will be gathering from the west, getting into Hampshire and Berkshire, and through the afternoon, here comes that rain across much of the region, a little bit of brightness here and there. Richard Littlejohn next.
After the break, London Weekend with Richard Littlejohn, live and uncut.